All right, what is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with me. We are back for more Advanced Wars. We are here to replay Field Training Mission 6 Tank Ops. But it's Saturday, so, and we're live, which means first we're going to start off by just chilling. We're just going to relax. I'll probably start playing in about 15 minutes or so. Obviously, starting now a little bit less, but yeah, hopefully everyone's doing all right. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their Saturday. I just finished drinking my whiskey for the night. I am done with the booze. Drank a little bit less today than I normally would because last week it had been a tradition for a little while that while me and my best friend were watching through Dragon Ball Daima, we were watching an episode every week on Saturday, because Saturday is usually my drinking night, because, you know, the kids go to bed, I get to relax. So I was going to have, I was going to do it last week and didn't because my buddy was just busy with, life. So we ended up doing it the next day. So I did something that I have not done in like 10 years, which was drink 2 nights in a row. So I drank a little bit less today, but you know what we do when we do that, right? You drink half as much, half as fast. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry about any other sounds you may hear, because those sounds are completely legal in the state of Illinois. Uh, it's kind of interesting that our state might be getting used here for a little bit of a showdown with the FBI. I don't mean to get like overly political on anybody here, that's the politics in gaming. um, but no, obviously I have made it no secret at any point ever that I hate our president. Salute President of the United States of America. Ha 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 ha. Now go away. I think President Trump needs nothing more than a good old wet willy and a smack to the back of the head. That's what he needs. But no, seeing as my state of Illinois, our governor basically told the state police to keep the FBI away from those Texas Democrats that have come up to, they've gone to a few different states, but a big state that they're staying in to kind of stall out things going on in Texas. Yeah, I'm actually, listen, not every billionaire can be awesome, but you know what? If you're going to be a billionaire, you might as well be our governor, J.B. Pritzker. He's I. He's I. He's a little goofy and he doesn't do everything right. But, as far as billionaires go, I believe he's used his wealth here to fund those Democrats staying in the state of Texas, which obviously I support because, listen, I understand gerrymandering is a thing that is pretty nonpartisan. Like, everybody does that shit. Nobody doesn't do it. Everyone does it. But the fact that we're doing it, you do it generally every 10 years after a census. And the fact that, the president told Texas, like, hey, I need 5 more seats. And, the Texas governor was like, yes, sir. And that's why they're like cutting up everything in the way they are right before the midterm elections. That's some pretty snaky shit. That's some snaky shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, listen, Texas is going to be a red state one way or the other. I'm not arguing that, and I'm not saying that, as far as a political side, nah, everyone does that shit. Everyone does it. And I get that. But it's the manner in which it's done. That it's just like, bro, come on. Come on. And that's because Republicans know that the way things are going right now, there's a bloodbath coming in the midterms for them. Now, that also is completely natural because, the Trump has a trifecta right now, which is obviously conservatives have the presidency, they have the House, and they have the Senate. They have a majority in both of those and the presidency. And generally, anytime a president gets a trifecta, 2 years later they lose it. That's just kind of the general trend, really, no matter where you go and no matter what you do. So, you know, that's already probably going to happen anyway. Like, even if the Democrats only take, obviously they can only take House or Senate. I don't know what seats are up for grabs this year. So I don't know which side is the battle going to be taking place in, really. But, like, there's a good chance that the Democrats are taking one of them. Because, again, that's just a part of the process. But I think they know that it's not looking good, because every special election we've had since the November election, since Donald Trump got elected again, every special election has basically gone in the Democrats' favor. And the ones that I believe, the two that I think were both in Florida, I think one was a judge. I can't remember what the other one was. But the Republican victories that they have had have seen their leads slashed in half. And that was before everything got fucking crazy psycho and President Fuckface started messing up everything. Because, like, listen, I work at UPS. Like, I struggle with the best of them when it comes to, having 2 kids and trying to survive right now. Like, Joe Biden wasn't doing like, oh, he was doing the best job ever. But, like, he was doing as best as he could. Like, you look at the rest of our global partners which function at around our economic status, we came out of COVID great. Yeah, inflation was a problem. That was also a problem everywhere in the world. There was nowhere after COVID that was not feeling that. Because, global catastrophes tend to have global effects. So, really, like, every incumbency, everybody that was in office and was trying to hold power, basically no one anywhere in the developed world, no one kept power. Every like party basically got flipped. Like, no matter who you were, the incumbency was losing in all of these elections. So, but shit was still going relatively decent. Inflation was going down. People were starting to be able to spend a little bit more again. Bro, that is not, it is so, like, it's a good thing that I just started working at a new branch for UPS, that I'm making more hours, and that I just got my yearly raise. Because, it is still very tight. I'm like a week behind on rent. It's already been paid, but, like, we're constantly like a week behind, and we're chipping away. We're chipping away every month. We're getting a little closer to being on time. But, my girl had something go on with, one of her cars. That shit needed to be repaired. We took a hit monetarily from her not being able to drive. Then we had to pay, a couple hundred. We had to pay almost $1,000 to get her a new car. So, like, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a slow grind. But, I tell you what, when you work at a place like UPS, and especially in areas of the warehouse where a lot of the stops are more residential, you can tell when things when people aren't feeling so hot about spending money, because you see, our times will literally be later in the day. Like, we get less product. It's a very easy 1-to-1 line. And, everything was going real good until that COVID hit. That was definitely a game changer. But, you got to do what you got to do. And I think America came out all right. We didn't come out unscathed. Everyone took their bumps and bruises. Again, That was a global fucking event. But you know what? We ended up coming out on top. Ish. Well, compared to other like first world nations, we definitely came out on top. We came out the envy of the fucking world. And that's why I hate now that like I'm seeing articles where it's like, oh, billions collected through the tariffs. And it's like, well, yeah, we're still having to pay for goods that are tariffed. Like that's the whole point. It's supposed to make it more expensive. Like, come on. All that tariff money comes out of American pockets, not who we import shit from. Like, same thing. Like, tariffs are fine if you're really specifically going after, like, certain things. Like, listen, I'm trying to preserve this industry, I'm trying to bolster this industry within my country, so I'm going to tariff the competitors of this to try and give us a foot. Like, I get all that, but when you're just like holding up a chart that's like, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, and we Oprah Winfrey that shit, that's not helpful. And like nobody likes that. And you could tell when that stuff was first starting to go on, bro, our work was so sporadic because everything was just hot and cold. Oh, couple more minutes and it's time to play. It is hot as fuck in this car. Today was one of those days where it was like 92 degrees with like a 9,900 degree heat index. Actually, the heat index I don't think was that bad today. Woo! Our the heat, even though it was actually today, the temperature was hotter than any other day that it's been over this like this mini heat wave that we've gotten. Not mini in length of time. Mini as in it wasn't like 99 degrees and then a heat index. It was just low 90s, which for prolonged periods of time is still wild up in Illinois. But I think today was actually the hottest day of this little heat wave. And actually, I think today was one of the most manageable outsides. It was one of the days where it felt the least oppressive outside. Ugh. All right, well, the politics and gaming segment is done. I can be done chasing people away with that now. Ugh. Take a couple more dregs and it's time to get started. With Tank Ops. I've been looking forward to this shit all day. Last few days, actually. I'm always looking forward to this. It's kind of the good thing is that I'm enjoying doing this as like the field training missions. I'm enjoying just doing the tutorial. That was a dumb way to say that. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. And it makes me really excited to play through the later missions where I know the gameplay is going to be like, 30 minutes to an hour. I can't wait for that stuff. Sometimes a little bit more because I will always have the animations on. I only get to play, not get to, I could play it anytime I want, but because of the way that I kind of want this series to go, I only play this once a week. So I'm going to take my full enjoyment out of it, and I am always going to stand by having animations on, always. The animations are like half the fun of these games. All right, we're good to go. All right. Is there a towel in here? Bro, I am sweating in this cart. All right. Tank Ops. This is a chance for you to show me what you've learned. Are you ready? An entire company doing recon in the Corral Lagoon area has been lost. The Corral Fortress is surrounded by mountains, so it's hard to imagine that there are many enemy units there. Still, an entire company is gone, so the point is we can't afford to lose that territory. Time to get going. Mission 6, Tank Ops. Medium tanks? Olaf got his hands on some of those too? That explains what happened to the recon units that vanished. Even with your units, I don't know if we can win. You don't win battles with just a show of force, though. You know that by now, right? I'm going to leave this one up to you. Do you want any strategic hints? Sure. For the time being, you can ignore the medium tanks. Just be sure you don't move into their attack range. Do you remember how to check the unit's attack range? Yes, I do. Move the cursor onto this unit and hold the B button. All right. Now for your strategy, first take out the enemy units between the rivers. Try to make the most of your tanks, mech units, and artillery. Now send some infantry to secure the neutral cities below you. The river will protect you from all but the enemy's infantry, so don't worry. I'll give you some more strategic hints after you capture those cities. Good luck. All right. I'm obviously going to bring... Okay. All right. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec. 1 sec. All right, my bad. My neighbors were just heading out, so I wanted to make sure I didn't need to move the car or nothing. All right. All right, load one of you up. You guys are going to start getting ready to go around. And you can't reach me, and neither can you. So... delicious. Delicious. That feels pretty good. Ha ha ha. I see you failed to notice my new weapon, Ned. Yeah, I'm giving you the voice. You are not nearly cool enough to get a strong, commanding voice. You'll see trouble before the power of the mightiest ground forces ever. Oh, wow, you're so cool. So cool. That was a waste of gas and fuel for no reason. All right, I feel like I put you in the perfect spot. Destroy the artillery. Bro, I'm going to be done with this mission so much faster than the other missions. Yeah, you guys can go ahead if you want. Hmm. All right, I should still have a bit of cover, and I'm hoping if he goes into the city to hit me, he'll be in range of my artillery. Or he'll just go, I don't think he can go straight after the artillery. Supply him. All right. Not bringing over that medium tank with everything else. That is... Okay. It's kind of went a different way than I was expecting. But I guess we reached the same conclusion one way or the other. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. What you got? Oh, did I not capture the building? Buildings, plural. All right, well, let's take care of that. Take advantage of the low ground. There we go. Hmm. I don't know. This is probably a bad idea. That was a bad idea. That was a really bad idea. That was an ultra. Oh, you should have killed me. You should have killed me. Okay, this is super risky. So risky. Really one of those no pain, no gain kind of moments. Mm. Felt almost like more damage than I should have done. Okay. I kept the cover of the night. You retreat. Smack him. Might as well do something while you're there. Most excellent. Wow, are you serious? Wow, that feels like extra damage. Feels like more damage than I should have done. Hit him with the two-man skidoo. Ah. Honestly, I thought you were done for this. Bruh, this was the easiest map so far, other than the very first one. Even amongst the field training missions. Well, the first two. First two are bullshit ones. But what was it? The third one, I had already gotten a B in speed. If anything, I'll get marks because I didn't capture as many buildings as I maybe could have. But now that Olaf has mid-tanks, our current tactics won't suffice. I'll have to ask Central Command to send us some too. Keep up the good work. What? Even my medium tanks were defeated. That no. But it doesn't look like she has any medium tanks ready to use. I'm sure I'll enjoy our next encounter. Bro, no, you will not. You will hate it just as much as the rest. Hey, I did not get a mark against me for speed this time. Finally. 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 All right, there's no reason to save, but we're going to save anyway. All right, cool. Well, that was field training mission 6. That is it for today. Oh, nice. That means next week I'll come back and I will do copter tactics. And that one will be the halfway point in the field training journey. So I'll be as ready next week as I am every week. I can tell you that much. But that's fine because I got a couple more minutes that I can just kind of relax here, and then I got to go inside. My girl went to a bar to meet up with some girlfriends. So I'm over here with the kids. So they're inside asleep. So everything should be fine. Luckily, we actually did a lot today. Took my kids to the pool, and then we went out to a pizza joint. My daughter is she's a little terror when it comes to, like, any time around, like, because she's not even 4 yet. So, like, around 8 o'clock, it's time for her to start getting ready for bed. And anytime it's around 8 o'clock and we're not getting her into bed, bro, she is a little gremlin. Just an annoying little monster. Just will not sit down at all. And the rest of the day, she's fine. In the mid part of the day, I can take them into a store and be like, okay, listen, today I don't have any money. I can't really get you guys like a treat or anything, but, I'll have something that we all agree on to have for lunch. And, just giving my kids what I expect of them. And during the middle of the day, my kids will adhere to that, and everything will be nice. My daughter, when it comes to her, 8 o'clock rolls around, that is gone. That is gone. And I knew it was bad because it's her just fighting to stay awake is what it is. Like, that's what it is for her. Like, she's just tired and she's just trying to keep herself, because, FOMO, fear of missing out. Like my daughter, anytime she's asleep, the entire world passes by her, and she knows it already and is like, no, I need to be here. So she keeps herself up. We got in the car, and within 5 minutes she was out. Actually, it's probably about 10. She would have been out sooner, but we had a couple of loud vehicular devices go on by. One of those, those guys, those overcompensating guys with those diesel trucks that are way too loud, and those guys are not taking that truck to work every day. Yeah, one of those was next to us, and my girl had to actively drive at a speed where this truck just stayed in front of her just so it wasn't too loud. It's nice my girl can drive now legally. Not that she ever drove when she didn't have a license. Never. No, never. Not a one time. But no, like obviously, for 7 years, I was in the captain's chair. So it's nice after that long to get to be a bit of a passenger princess and not do anything. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. It's pretty fucking nice. I still drive most times. Now it's like 70-30 I drive. Whereas before, maybe when it wasn't legal, it was usually like, we lived together. So like for real, 99 and 1. Like I drove 99% of the time. Which, when you live with, a partner and you're also a parent, like honestly, 100 trips, that's like in a couple months, a month even maybe. Yeah, that was Tank Ops though that one was easy, especially to take out everyone. Um, which one was the one with the mountain? Oh yeah, base capture. That was the one that was actually the hardest to do if you want to not just if you just wanted to capture the enemy base. That one actually is stupid easy. You just walk some of your units to the base, and the enemy tanks can't reach you, and you just capture it, and that's fine. Which it's the field training mission was called base capture, so like obviously I get it, but my modus operandi instead being to destroy all the enemy units, and I think what you get 2 mech units, and you have to take out like in that case you have to take out 4 tanks with 2 mech units, bruh. You got to have mastery of one of the corners where only one enemy can hit you. Because I made the mistake before of going on this one mountain spot that I moved a unit to, and 2 tanks can hit you in one turn. You can't do that. That mech unit will be gone, and you cannot, as far as I'm aware, eliminate 4 tank units with one sole mech unit. Maybe Sammy's when she has her fucking her CO power, maybe, but even that, I don't think that's happening. That's not real. So yeah, I messed up one of the times that I tried playing that. Just with that being the goal, because like I said, for that one, if you wanted to just capture the base, you just capture the base, game over. Because that's what you're supposed to do. But of course, I had to add a little self-handicap to it instead. Which is why I ended up getting on a tutorial mission a B. And it's like, but come on. I know my speed was dog shit, but I killed all of them. And as far as I'm aware, I did not lose a single unit of mine. I am really good at At least I was. Not losing a lot of units and also killing a lot of their units. I'm very good at that. Because I'm good at checking distances and making sure and like having a wall of people so I can send something out to kind of bait the AI into taking, going for it and then pouncing and just destroying everything as I go. I'm pretty good at doing that. But being that cautious, the thing that you will suffer is speed. Speed, 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 speed. You will always lack in the speed department. So yeah, you got to kind of. And I mean, if you're gonna lack real heavily in one department, you might as well go all out in the other ones. So yeah, that's how I like to do it. So we'll see if this time tracks my we'll see if my ratings track as well as they did last time. Because when I've gone back and looked, I think it was basically B's pretty solidly across the board with like 2 or 3 A's thrown in there throughout the game. It didn't seem to have like any specific placement. It seemed pretty random. But yeah, we'll see if I do as good because I remember speed always being the thing that held me back. And honestly, that's how I played for the little bit I got to play of the first Fire Emblem game for the Famicom. That was I know it doesn't rate you in the same way, but I can imagine the thing that I always suffered in is the speed department. But I don't know. I just don't like losing a lot of units. Like it just doesn't sit well with me. Even though this isn't Fire Emblem, I almost still kind of treat it like it is Fire Emblem. Like those aren't just soldiers; those are my boys. Those are my homies. I don't want to just throw them into the fucking. I want to just throw them into the fire. I always imagine if I were in the military as like someone of strategic, you know, placement, whether it be logistics or anything. Like I'm always good with figuring out systems and trying to keep things like nice. And same when it comes to this. I don't want to be extending people too far. When I do, I feel bad about it. Again, even though I know in this game you can just pop out another one, still, those were real people that worked in there. The horrors of war. But yeah, so I always just try to not lose units. So speed is always going to be my kicker. Like I said, we'll just see if it's any different than how I played last time. Because even though it's been a couple years, I would like to hopefully play better than I did last time. Again, the fact though that, well, again, I guess I explained what I did with base capture. I guess I explained that well enough that, you know, it can be done way easier than what I did. What I did was exceptionally stupid and annoying. So, I guess, yeah. I hope to be better this time than the last time I played it. I tell you what, I cannot wait to go into this house, feel some cool air. I need to find some music to listen to, too. What should I listen to? I know in a few weeks, probably still like just knowing my schedule and knowing like what I have, it'll probably be like in a month, maybe more. I don't know. In about a month ish. In honor of the Ozman, I am going to, on top of having a busy schedule of drinking whiskey and doing some shwifty strategy. Aside from that, I am going to be taking time every Saturday to listen to one a week, every Ozzy album that he ever did vocals on. And he's got what? He's got, I think I wrote it down somewhere. I think it's like, he's got 22 of them bad boys. He's got like, oh God, here's the nerd in me. He's got 8 Black Sabbath albums, and then how many solo albums? I think he did like 13 solo albums, I think. No. That's total. I can't think of how many. But I know he's got like 22 of them bitches. I can't think of it right now. If I were sober, I could. But yeah, no, I'm going to take some time and listen through all of his Sabbath material. Then he did, his solo career. Then he went back and did one more Sabbath album, which was the last one. I think it's called 13. I remember listening to it when it came out. Then he did one more Sabbath album, and then he had 2 final studio albums, before he passed away. And rumor has it, I don't know how true this is, I don't know. Supposedly, he had music written for a last album, which I don't quite buy because of how much his health seemed to have struggled. I don't quite believe that, but I'm fine with 22. That's a good number of albums. That alone is going to take me damn near 6 months to do. Because, I already binge music a lot as it is. Like, that's how I consume music. I'm a binger. I'm an album listener. You can't properly appreciate music unless you're listening to it on an album. To feel how every song leads into the next one. My favorite band, my favorite metal band, I would never call them the best. I don't think they're the best. They are just my favorite. You know what I mean? Like, the difference between favorite and best. My favorite band is called Dark Tranquillity. And to me, one of the things that I love about them is that every album, all 13 of them, and I would argue even their like early demos also did, they feel like full on adventures. Like, each one feels like its own journey, its own adventure, its own thing. And every song I feel like is placed exactly where it's meant to be. And it bothers me anytime I would be, because every album since YouTube has been a thing, since I've known about the band, since I became a fan, their albums that they came out with, the first one they came out with was called We Are the Void, and then was Construct, Atoma, Moment, and now I think End Time Signals is what their newest one was called. So it's been 5 albums since I became a fan of them in like 2007, because the album before the first one I listed, Fiction, that one had just come out in like 2007 when I became a fan of them. So every album of theirs that's come out since I've been a fan on YouTube, the reviews are the same every single time. Oh man, it's good, but it's just like, it's like a bunch of B-level songs. Nothing really stands out. And I guess when you're like a music reviewer and you have to listen to music as a job, you are listening to things that like pop out at you and snap out. Especially when you are, again, doing that as a job. I got you. I get it. But for me, it's like, that's kind of the point, is that everything is supposed to feel Like, I mean, I guess it's fitting that their magnum opus is called The Gallery. Because to me, when it comes to music, that's how every good album should be structured. You know, an art gallery isn't meant to just be like a random display of, you know, different pieces. It's supposed to be things that complement each other and that work off of one another. And like everything is put in very specific places to be an exhibit. Like everything is meticulously planned out. And that's how good music should be. It should not, if you, to me, when I feel like a band just puts out what to me feel like just random assortments of just the songs they had right now, I'm usually not about it. Like, if you're a band that I can only listen to like a couple of your songs and they're your hits, yeah, that's probably it. You're just a band that like, oh, you're all right. But no, good music needs to be ingested in album form. And that's not like just being a metalhead. To me, that's like in any genre. Because, I mean, like, if an artist can't hold you and hold your interest and attention with the things that are going on in their life, in their mind right now, like, or if they've not been able to do that at any point and they can't hold your interest for 45 minutes to an hour, then, like, come on, bro. What are they even doing? What are they even doing? You know, yeah, on every album, there should be at least one good song. Like, there has to be one song you vibe with. But in general, like, an artist has to be able to hold your attention for a good amount of time. You know, one of the biggest metal bands that of modern times that I personally just could never get into is Disturbed. And to me, that was always their biggest weakness, is that they always had songs that I was like, all right, that's not a bad song. 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 I don't understand why you can't, like, make it a thing, like, make an album that's like, from start to finish, that holds my interest. But, you know, obviously they have their fans that would disagree. And, you know, that's how it works. You know, I guess the magic is that everybody feels this about different artists. But yeah, for me, they are like a song only band. And it's kind of funny with Disturbed, where my favorite two songs they've ever done are both covers with, you know, their famous one being the Sound of Silence, but then their other one being, I can think of the name of the song. I can think of like the lyrics and the melody, but I can't think of the name of the song. Why can't I think of it? Land of Confusion, the cover they did of the Genesis song. Yeah, so it's just funny that the songs that I like most by them are covers. Sucks. Sucks to be them, but you know, they're one of the biggest bands in the world, so the fuck do I know? I like loser bands that will never get more than like 100,000 views tops on Spotify. So, you know, who am I to say with my shitty taste? But all right, I'm done rambling about metal and music and art. But yeah, that is it, guys. I'll be back next week for Cop Do Tactics. So yeah, peace.